Greetings, valued staff members. Today we are conducting an asynchronous test security training session. This is a very important training session which will be followed up by a face-to-face session to ensure everyone understands the importance of test security to ensure clarity, consistency, and integrity of the testing process. This not only ensures that we are following state laws, board policies, and district procedures, but also maintaining transparency for all stakeholders about our testing process. Today we will briefly discuss how, 1, to access the testing website, 2, how to access the test security manual, 3, the importance of completing all seating charts, 4, expectations as it relates to the retention of documents for training, 6, the review of test-specific manuals, 7, what are irregularities and the different types, 8, the test security modules that all of you have been assigned and received an email, and then 9, who to contact regarding all assessments and evaluations. The Dallas ISD Assessment Department has reorganized this website to make it more user-friendly. All resources will be actively linked and static resources will pop up for quick reference. When you have a moment, it is highly recommended that you visit the website. Here's what it looks like when we navigate to the website. Go to the Dallas ISD Assessment website. Click on the Test Security tab on the top right. When you click on that, there's categories and particular resources that you want to be familiar with. They include 1, test security related board policies and regulations, 2, other test security guidelines and checklists, 3, the availability of test security oaths, such as state, district, or testing coordinators and the principal oaths, 4, the secure testing location form, which we have already completed and submitted, 5, seating charts, 6, how to report irregularities in the process, 7, the training modules, that includes this presentation that you're looking at right now, and 8, resources for central and staff members which do not apply to us. Now the testing manual, it's been redesigned to include all important updates. The key is reading, knowing, and following this manual is critical. Much of the remainder of today's session will include a careful review of the test security manual. Once again, reading, knowing, and following the manual is critical. Watching this presentation is not a substitute for reading and knowing and following the manual. Here are the points of emphasis and highlights of the updates. For this year, for each secure exam, campus principals will submit campus testing plans to their respective executive director for review and consultation. That's found on pages 20 to 23 on the testing security manual. If a staff member other than the campus testing coordinator is tasked with primary test coordination responsibilities for any given test administration, that individual must attain the training for that specific exam, page 11. Each staff member who will assume primary coordination responsibilities for any given test must attend district test security training before that particular testing cycle begins, page 11. Snacks, this is new, may not be distributed or consumed in the testing room. No snacks in the testing room. Also, scratch paper may not be returned to the teachers or other instructional leaders for viewing. We know we might want to see how students are thinking and how they're processing or where the gaps are. We're no longer allowed, we are not allowed to return that scratch paper to the teachers or for us to view. Another thing, at least 2 people should be present at all times when student responses are being entered into the Cambian data entry interface. Campus testing coordinators must ensure a score code is entered by the end of each window for each eligible student who did not test. Failure to do so impacts the campus accountability and student registration for future test administrations. Other points of emphasis on the day of testing any given course. Before and during the testing, personnel who teach any content area tested that day may not enter the testing room for any reason when the course they teach is being tested in that room. Page 13. So if they are testing in your room and you left something in your file cabinet, it's not acceptable to go back even before the test. It's on that day. So we have to be careful and plan ahead. We are not allowed in our rooms at all during the day of testing, whether it's before or after the test. Once a testing window has opened, personnel who teach any content area tested may not discuss or provide motivational messages of any sort with two students, nor discussing or providing testing strategies with the two students. So not even the message on the board saying we believe in you, although that does not include any strategies. This is something that is no longer allowed. Once any test has been started by one or more students at that campus, personnel may not discuss course content with nor provide course content to students taking an exam in that course. Page 13. On the day of testing for any given course, before and during testing, personnel may not discuss or provide motivational messages of any sort to students, discuss or provide content with or to students taking an exam in that course, nor discuss or provide testing strategies with or to students testing. Finally, due to school safety consideration, test administrators or proctors and test relievers may have their cell phones in testing rooms, but these should only be used in case of an emergency. Non-emergency use of cell phones in testing rooms is prohibited. Again, I will say this. Non-emergency use of cell phones in testing rooms is prohibited. The campus testing plan must have provisions for non-emergency communication. For instance, communication apps on laptops are allowed, such as WhatsApp. Effective this year, 24-25, campus administration will not or should not collect cell phones of testing personnel. That's page 32. Now, seating charts. Seating chart forms have to be completed with all the information. Accuracy and completeness is the responsibility of all, not just the testing coordinator. All campuses must use this form for all exams without altering the location of information and or deleting columns. All fields must have an indicator. If for any reason a field is not applicable, indicate that with an NA or a strike through. All campus testing coordinators should have a process for carefully reviewing seating charts and having omissions corrected during material check-in. All testing rooms must have a completed testing chart, including makeup and consolidated testing rooms. Retention of documents. All training, including documentation for this session, must be collected, maintained, and stored for the next 5 years. This includes all assessments, both district and TEA required. This required documentation must be filed in an orderly manner in which future campus testing coordinators can easily locate documents should there be a change in the position in the coming years. This is especially important to consider the above in regards to electronic documents. Test manuals. Each assessment has its own manual that we must be aware of and review for each assessment. Again, reading, knowing, and following the manual specific to each exam is critical. Again, I'll review it. Reading, knowing, and following the manual specific to each exam is critical. Here are examples of the state of Texas exams. Okay, you have STAR and TELPAS. We also have local exams, but these are not applicable to our campus.